Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new show, a new sit down. And of course, we have here a special guest, former Newcastle United player, Paul Cannell, in the channel. Welcome, Paul.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I wish I had a pound every time I'd heard that.
I bet you do.
Oh, man. Well, first of all, thank you. And it's lovely to have you on, man. And, just thankful that you decided to come on. And I know a lot of people in the chat will recognize you, of course, from playing the tune and of course playing in other teams as well. So you're definitely a Geordie. You're a tune lad, and yeah, man. How's life treating you, man? Are you doing well?
Yeah, well, retired now. Can't afford to go to watch the football.
Oh man, yeah. I bet the prices are different from back in the day, huh?
Oh, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford a pint at Newcastle now.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, when Paul was playing a season, I used to pay 47 quid for a season ticket then. I just checked it up. 47 quid for the season. That was in
And
the
what's it now?
East Stand had just been built. Well, I'm pensionary now, so it's 837 now.
Oh man, 837. Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, for it's quite a bit of money, but Paul, I mean, now with Newcastle having new owners and obviously the modern times are here, man, and if the club wants better players, top quality players, I mean, I guess the fans have to pay for it, don't they?
That's right. I mean, a lot of people don't realise it is very hard to get players to live in Newcastle. I mean, us Geordies think Newcastle's great, but to foreigners, it might as well be Scotland.
Oh wow!
It's not Manchester. It's not London. You've really got to persuade them to come to live in the northeast.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, but let's get started with you, man. Let's talk about you before we talk about the tune. I mean, I got you here. Look, some of these dates may be wrong, but that's why you're here to correct me. But you started you started in Newcastle under 18 back in 72, July 1st, 72. Is that right?
That's about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So what were you? 18, 17, 19 around that time?
I was 17 going on 18.
So your whole life you've been. I mean, somewhere I read that you tried that you went to Sunderland as well. Am I wrong? Yeah, you had to. Yeah.
Well, I started playing for England schoolboys, and it was Ferguson, the Sunderland scout, got me to start training with Sunderland, and I started playing for their intermediate team when I was still at school. And then to toughen me up, he got me to play in the Northern League for Whitley Bay, because I was just a young schoolboy playing, and then I ended up with these animals playing in the Northern League, kicking shit out of each other. But then Joe Harvey decided to come with Jeff Allen to my house one night, just knocked on the door and said, "Paul, I want you to sign for Newcastle." And I had a Doberman Pinscher at the time, and my Doberman Pinscher bit Joe Harvey on the hand. And that convinced me that I should sign for Newcastle. So I decided to rip up my schoolboy forms that I had with Sunderland, and I signed. In actual fact, I was supposed to be going to Durham University to study law. But as Joe Harvey said, he says, "You might go to Durham University to study law and flunk it and regret it that you never played football." So he says, "Why don't you sign for Newcastle? And if you're any good, you can always go back to Durham University." So I thought there was logic in that, so I signed for Newcastle.
Well, I mean,
and the rest, as they say,
and the rest is history, man. So now you made your debut. Not you play for under 18. I got you here 72, 73 under 18, but your Newcastle debut wasn't until 78.
No,
there's no way. That's even.
No. When I signed for Newcastle, straight away. There was no under 18s or anything like that. I played for the reserves.
Yeah. Okay.
And the reserves were getting, 30,000. When Jinky played for the reserves, it was 30,000 people came to watch.
Right. Yeah.
And bear in mind, this is when Supermark was centre forward for the first team.
And that's what you play, right? You're a center forward.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
That was the saying. They sold McDonald for Cannell, and that's. I'd played games when people were injured and stuff like that, and I got along with. Well, Mal was my best friend. He was my drinking buddy, and so when he was injured, I played along with John Tudor, and then when they sold Martin McDonald, I took his place for a couple of seasons.
Well, and they bought Gowland as well, didn't they?
Then we bought Alan Gowland, yeah.
Alan Gowland, and if the rumours, you'll know for sure, but are those rumours correct that Gordon Lee turned around to McDonald and said Gowland will score more goals than you?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Which was like red rag to a bull.
Oh, yeah. But Mal was he was sort of already on his way out. I'll not go into his marital situation and stuff like that. But when Gordon Lee came, I think Mal was quite happy to sign for Arsenal because he was a London lad anyway.
Yeah. But adopted Geordie.
Oh,
right.
Totally. I mean, he only lives about half a mile from me now.
Do you get to talk to him much, or is he?
Yeah.
Still...
Well, it's funny because you might have heard of Brian Johnson from AC/DC.
Of course. My idol, man.
Brian used to live just down the road from me, and his wife was Carol Johnson. And when Brian was away on tour and stuff like that, I used to go down to Carol's house and play cards, and there was one time we were having a bit of a drink and stuff like that, and who comes and knocking on the door but Alex Higgins, the snooker player, and he'd just been playing snooker at the Eldon Square, and he came in and he had a bag of cocaine.
Oh man.
So
you guys used to have great parties back then, man. But that might be.
It was fun, and
man.
but then Brian, for tax reasons, had to stay in America, and him and Carol, their relationship sort of broke down, and I took Carol to a Newcastle game, and Mal was there. And they got together, and they've been together ever since.
Yeah. All right. Well, and I mean, how do you describe your Newcastle career, though? I mean, from what I get here, you played about 5 years, 6 years in the tune.
It was strange because I grew up playing football with the school, then with the county, then with England schoolboys. And my dad was always friends with the Shepherds. And if you know, the Shepherds ended up taking over Newcastle United. Freddie Shepherd and stuff like that. So it wasn't such a huge thing. I just sort of, when they said, "Do you want to play football for Newcastle?" I went, "Yeah, that would be good." And it wasn't like money sort of thing in those days. It was just it was, well, put it this way. In one of the games I was playing, I went to pick the ball up for a throw-in, and this guy from the crowd said, "Hey, Cannell, don't you tap our lass up at the Stans Club anymore." And I went, I was picking the ball up, and that's how sort of close we were to the fans.
Oh, that's great, though, man. I mean,
and his wife.
When you got anything else?
Is that me?
What
No.
was
No.
what was the crap? We're just talking there about when Gordon Lee did off to Everton, and you had the players' committee that more or less told
The players' strike.
it would be was it Seymour or McKeague by then? Who was the chairman
It was
then?
McKeague.
McKeague was right. So you said to McKeague, we want Richard Dennis, player power.
Yeah. Well, put it this way, it was Jeff Nolte and Alan Gowland and Tommy Craig who said it.
Yeah.
They were the more eloquent ones.
Well, Malcolm MacDonald famously said that when he couldn't understand why Gordon Lee raved about Jeff Nolte, because according to him, he did nothing. And he said he watched a game, we beat Liverpool, and Nolte touched the ball 4 times in 90 minutes, according to Malcolm. And he did absolutely nothing, and yet he was getting showered with praise by Gordon Lee, whereas Gordon Lee was giving him brickbats for being a lazy so-and-so.
Well, I mean, Jeff Nolte wasn't the most creative player. Let's be honest. But that was Gordon Lee. He wanted workers. I always remember him saying, "I don't like stars. To me, stars are things that shine in the night." Which, yeah, I can see the theory behind it. But there's nothing wrong being a star when you're bloody good.
Exactly.
And Mal was bloody good.
I've never seen a team without any stars win anything.
Oh, that's it. Right.
Well, we got a few questions here from the folks. One of them is Paul Clark. Is the story about Joe Harvey coming to your home and offering you £30,000 a week true?
£30 a week.
Oh, £30 a week.
£30,000.
Oh, £1,000. My God, that would be nice. £30 a week. What the hell? £30, man. I wouldn't even play. I wouldn't even be playing football if that was the case.
That was the wages then, man.
Well, is that true? And I'll be right back. Wayne, take it over. But go on, Paul. Paul, yeah, is that true?
What's that, Miss?
Saying is that did you offer you £30 a week for your first contract?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't even interested.
I'll not say I would have done it for performances.
I would have done it for now. You know, at the time that was fine.
Yeah.
The trouble is, it didn't go up very much.
It didn't do much. AG asks, out of your 18 goals at Newcastle, what is your most memorable?
I suppose it'll be the one against Leeds United, when people said it should have been a cross. No, they said, was it a cross? And I said, no, it wasn't a cross, but it should have been.
Oh, right. I can't remember that one, actually. I remember your Man U scored against Man U, I remember.
Against Alex Stepney was in goal.
Of course, you had 2 against the Mackhams, which are, as you say, you were the first to score home and away against the Mackhams. The original Mackham Slayer.
Aye, that's one. Who was the manager then? Would it be after Stoke? Or?
Sunderland's manager then? I don't know. 76.
It was Alan Brown, then it was Bob Stoke. Or?
Did McManamy take over from him?
I can't remember.
No.
Anyway, the one Mackhams.
That's true. I'll quickly find out.
I wouldn't care. I ended up being a rep for Vaux Breweries when I retired.
The Sunderland Brewery.
Aye.
When SNN were all over Newcastle. You know, this story you're saying at the Irish club, is that a public do, or is it just among the players?
No, it's
Because
open
it's a
to the
good chance
public.
to plug. If it, well, it's a good chance to plug tickets or whatever. If you want to do that, what's the date?
No, it's just they arrange to meet every so often.
All
So
right.
it's open to the members and things like that. But you know, the Irish club, which is just
Yeah.
beside where the Magpie is,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a nice club. You know, just as long as you don't leave any parcels lying around.
So, and you reckon there's going to be about 18 years there?
Aye. Martin
And
Burley,
like all from your era.
yeah. John Cowan, Jinky, Irvin Natras.
Right.
I don't normally go.
Because that was a hell of a team you had then. You know, the team that you had your breakthrough season. You make saying because we had like Natras and Kennedy fullbacks, two fantastic fullbacks. Mick Mahoney, super goalie. We had Gowland, MacDonald, Burns, Nulty. Barraclough was in like he was on the way out then, Stewie. But it was a hell of a team. It's no surprise that team finished in Europe.
Alan Kennedy.
I'm saying Natras and Kennedy, the best fullback pair. And yeah, I mean, we were blessed at the time because we had Craig and Clark, and then they were immediately followed by Natras and Kennedy, who were two fantastic fullbacks. But we just didn't keep players in those days, you know. We just used to sell all our best players. It was criminal, really. We had Terry Mack there before he went to Liverpool. Terry Hibbert, of course. God bless him. And it was one hell of a team, that. Mickey Burns was knocking them into our phone.
He's a good lad, Mickey Burns.
Yeah. And he was supposed to be a bit of a joker and all, wasn't he?
Mickey Burns?
Aye.
Aye. The best one was Tony Green, though.
Oh God, Tony Green, loved him.
Tony Green was he was magic lad, tremendous player,
fabulous,
full of fun.
Yeah. I mean, tragic that his career got cut. He played 34 times for the two, and I saw 33 of them.
Aye.
There was
he ended up on the pool. He ended up on the pools panel.
Pools panel, that's right. Aye. Yeah.
He never gave any tips.
And what was that? I just thought of someone then. But so Tony Green when did he get crocked? Was that in your? That wasn't that season, but it was the season before, wasn't it? 75, was it? He played Hereford. So Hereford was 75. And Wembley was 76.
Oh well, I went.
He was finished before we got to Wembley because you were still at Wembley, weren't you?
Yeah. Because I went on loan to America to the Diplomats in 1976 in the off season.
Right. And you played for a couple of American teams, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I went from Washington to Memphis.
The Memphis Rogues, man.
The Memphis Rogues, and then the owner, Fred Douglas, I think his name was, decided, I'm going to sell the teams, and we all got shipped up to what's it called? Somewhere up in Canada.
Vancouver.
Begins with a C.
Begins with a C in Canada.
I got you that you
Calgary, that's it. Calgary. The Calgary Boomers. And then then the Calgary Boomers went bust. And I ended up with Detroit. and they're playing for Detroit with Jimmy Hill's team when Jimmy Hill had it.
Right.
The biggest bandit in the history of the universe.
Who Jimmy Hill was?
Jimmy Hill, him and his son. And then they decided to take over the Washington Diplomats.
Yeah.
So you went like full circle.
Right.
Right. So you started there and ended there.
Yeah. David T asks that were you involved in the League Cup semifinal, second leg versus Spurs at St. James's Park? He was 9. He's saying I wasn't at the game, but was told the atmosphere was one of the best ever.
It absolutely was one of the best as well. It was
Were you there?
incredible. I was there.
Can't remember.
Oh, honestly, God. We played.
In all honesty, I can't remember.
Spurs in the semis, and it was QPR in the quarters. That was bedlam as well. But the Spurs atmosphere, that game is without doubt one of the best that's ever been at St James's Park. Was
that? Are we talking about the FA Cup or the League Cup?
No, the League Cup. The League Cup semi-final in '76.
Yep, 76.
So when did we play Bolton?
That was the FA Cup.
That was the FA Cup, wasn't it?
But that wasn't it wasn't the Wembley Cup run, Bolton.
No. I was just trying to.
It was a couple of years later.
All right.
No, because I was substitute in the League Cup final.
The Bolton game where Max scored more or less from the throw-in. Unbelievable goal. Yeah. I was there for that as well, Burnden Park.
Yeah. Everybody's now. I got a question. Who's your favorite current Newcastle player right now, Paul?
Anthony Gordon.
Good answer.
Anthony Gordon. I liked Miggy Almiron.
Me too.
Because I've never known a player work as hard.
Yeah.
Tremendous worker. I've never ever heard him speak.
Well, he does. He actually just a couple of weeks back he did an interview for NUFC TV.
Did he?
You know, yeah. But he does it through an interpreter. Even though he can't speak English, because a couple of my pals' kids go to the same school as his kids, and they stand outside and talk to them all the time. But I've never seen him do an interview in English.
I've never actually seen him speak on the pitch.
Yeah.
But he's a good player.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, we gotta share this, man. I saw this on you, Paul. I was doing some research, man. You know what this is about, brother. Man, we got to bring it up. And what was this, man? Anyway, the goalkeeper gets it. You're right there. Oh, that was a foul right there. You got to admit that was a foul.
I shoulder charged him.
That was a foul. And then look at the goalkeeper does something funny, man. Bang! Oh, you got to fight. And so, would that not be considered?
That should be a goal.
That should be a goal because the goalkeeper is initiating the play.
Oh no, because he'd blown for the foul, hadn't he? So he hadn't taken the free kick.
Oh, okay.
What? And then he books you. Hey,
now this, where were you playing at this? What was your team here?
Sorry.
Who were you playing for this time?
That's the Washington Diplomats against the Chicago.
Chicago something. Yeah.
Philadelphia Fury.
Oh, Philadelphia. Well, now
Philadelphia
the MLS
Fury against the Dips.
Now the MLS teams are all have different names, so it's a different world. But yeah, man, look, these are fighting words, man. Any proper Geordie would have swung, would have thrown a couple hands here.
No, any sensible Geordie put the ball in the net.
Yeah,
right. He let go of it. A friend of mine is trying to take over. He's trying to start a new league over there called the the National Soccer League. He's bought the rights for Washington Diplomats, the Los Angeles Aztecs, Chicago Sting.
Yeah.
And he's trying to reintroduce these teams to get a league together to oppose the MLS. So I
Right.
don't know whether it'll work or not, but
Right.
he's looking for investors.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got another one to show you, man. This is a goal that you scored in '74 against Chelsea. You know, I don't know if Chelsea at the time were a big club as they are now, but
Yeah.
you know, it was a proper goal, man. The crowd, the fact that the crowd is like that. Well, hold on, there we go. Let me try to restart it because my internet is it's a bit choppy here. But the crowd looks like literally right on top of you guys. Um,
Jerry Hibbert.
and
Barack
bang, nice
Bang.
header, man. Was this what stadium? Was this St. James's Park?
That was at St. James's, yeah, the Leazes end.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, let me refresh it though, because I think. But why does it look so
No,
different?
Sorry, the
That's
Gallagher end.
Gallagher end.
Oh, my-
Gallagher end. That yeah.
Gallagher end.
Why does it look so different though? I mean, for some reason, I don't know.
That's all standing there. No, it's all seated now, but that's everybody standing there.
Wow. And you were wearing number 10. Oh my
Yep.
God, man. You were the man at the time, brother.
That's right. Supermark number 9 there.
Silverback number 9, man. That's proper. Do you have any of your Newcastle memorabilia? Do you have any shirts? Do you have anything?
No.
Nothing,
Sold
man.
them all.
You know, sold them. You know, it's unbelievable, man. Because you know, most players from back in the day, they really didn't, from what I hear, didn't really give a damn too much about, you know, keeping a shirt or keeping a boot that they debuted it in or something. You know,
There was no real value to them because, and in those days, the shirts got washed and you wore them again. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the laugh these days. If we take my shirt off and thrown it into the blinking crowd, there would have been hell on. They would have took it out our wages.
Really, is that right?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. You know,
I mean, I was telling.
I remember
telling-
we played against Birmingham City, and it started snowing.
Mm.
And it was the snow lay down up to half time, and there was actually snow on the ground. And the goalkeeper kicked the ball out, and it landed. And we were playing with a white ball because there'd been no snow beforehand.
Right.
So at half time, the referee says, "You're going to have to change this ball." And they said, "We've only got one." So Ray Hudson was sent down to Stan Seymour's shop with a key to get an orange ball, and he had to run from Stan Seymour's shop in the town all the way back up to St. James's Park before we could start the second half with an orange ball.
Get over here.
Honestly,
Wow.
gospel truth.
I
Wow.
remember Seymour's shop on Northumberland
Unbelievable,
Street.
man.
Stan
Market Street.
Seymour's was just beside Grey Street,
Yeah.
and you had Frankie Brennan's just down from
Frankie
St.
Brennan's on
James's.
Gallagher.
Now you played. Well, maybe you might have came in this game, but obviously you were part of the '76 League Cup final against Man City. That you guys obviously we lost that one.
Yeah.
Right, and
As we do them all.
as we do them all, unfortunately, yeah, the Mighty Wayne. Don't rub it in, Mighty Wayne. But you know, it's cool. This piece of video that I found. I hate it when it gets choppy when I'm sharing it. What the hell, man? But it's basically the in the tunnel.
Mickey
This is that.
Burns.
I see. First of all, I had to rewatch this again because I was like, I thought because you know City at the time they had those black and red striped shirts, and I thought this was City, but we started looking right, and then I saw Supermac on the on this side. I was like, no wait, Newcastle were rocking red. Look at that. Oh,
I just recognised them.
Oh, well, hold on. We're going to find out.
Mickey Burns, Glenn Keeley, Stuart Barraclough, Irvin Natras.
Oh, who is that gentleman right there, man?
Hey,
that's a
like
nice
a porn star.
With your porn touch.
That's a proper squirrel you got on top of that lip right there, man. Man, that's unbelievable. But see, you didn't start this game, did you?
No, I'm just sub.
But see, it's funny how at the time you guys used to have to line up like this because usually nowadays the starters line up, and the subs just go onto the bench.
Yeah.
But see, yeah, you know, it's funny, but yeah, but let's keep playing it. But yeah, man, you're
in those days there was only one sub.
Owen Gordon Keeley.
only one sub.
Yeah.
Alan Gowland,
Wow.
Alan Kennedy,
Mick Mahoney.
Mahoney, Super Goalie, Tommy Craig.
That's unbelievable. Only one. I'm still in that. Like only one
Gordon
sub.
Lee.
Yeah.
Only one sub.
Gordon
Unbelievable.
Lee.
Man. But the reception was unbelievable. I mean, listen to the crowd.
With Newcastle United.
And
Yeah.
And here they come.
my God, man.
100,000 crowd outside at Wembley for this League Cup final. Do see them. Here come Manchester City.
Unbelievable,
on the
man.
right, Newcastle United on the left.
Now, those are City fans, of course. Back when they had fans.
And do you know where we got what Wembley suits from?
Where?
Malcolm
Jackson
McDonald's
Taylor.
shop.
Oh, Malcolm McDonald's shop.
Oh, is that right?
He went in competition with what did they call him again, man? What did they call the fancy outfit as Marcus Price?
Wow.
Marcus Price.
Remember them? And Super Mac tried to usurp Marcus Price.
Well, Mal's shop was beside the Swallow Hotel.
That's
Look
right,
at that. Look at that hat right there. Who is that? Who is this? Oh, never mind. That was on the Man City side. This guy, I forgot his name. But was this Mighty Wayne? You didn't go to this one, did you?
Yeah.
You did. You were there at this stadium right now. Right now, you were there in the stands.
Indeed.
I bet you were strung out on cocaine and heroin, man. But we won't tell your story. We won't tell your secrets, man. But so you guys play Save the King and all the good stuff. Of course, we lose this one.
No,
but
God Save the Queen. It was.
Oh, the Queen. I'm sorry, the Queen. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, you're right. And as we know, City is proclaimed champions of the League Cup.
Dennis Stewart.
But the ending I thought was really cool because again, it's these former times of doing everything kind of catch my attention because there's a reporter that walks in. He's talking to the City players, of course, and getting their thoughts. And immediately he turns around, and Newcastle players are in the same area. Immediately, like right there. And I just I couldn't believe that they were. Imagine if they were rivals. If this was Sunderland Newcastle, would they be in the same locker room after the match?
They're not in the same locker room there.
Well, you're gonna see that right here. They were talking to City players, and then they turn over and they start talking to Newcastle players.
Do they not cut?
No, mate. It's literally. You will see. You will see.
Well, that was Nijinsky just walked past the back there, Colin Bell.
Here's the fellow who scored it anyhow.
See right there.
What about the goal, Dennis?
Dennis Stewart.
That's Dennis Stewart, man. He scored the winner for Man City.
They've swapped tops.
They swapped shirts after the whistle. Because Dennis Stewart, he was from.
Yeah, that's right.
He was from just up the road from me in Montague.
This is part. Somebody is that Malcolm? No, that's Dave Watson.
Dave Watson getting
he had his head split, and
Dennis Stewart ended up with the Cosmos.
Yeah, straight eye.
So right here, obviously he got fixed up right after the game. Nothing, no sedatives, straight to it. Just
Is that Dave Watson?
Yeah.
He played for Sunderland.
So like right here, look.
Yeah, he played for Sunderland.
So look at this. The City player with the Newcastle shirt on takes the cup full of beer, I would assume, unless you guys were drinking something else.
Spirits.
Takes it to McDonald, and he is drinking out of it as well. And
well, they've obviously taken that's it there. They've taken it to our dressing room there.
okay, well that would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense.
Tommy Craig.
And yeah, they were just having a good time, obviously. But a lot of sportsmanship. I don't know that you would see a lot of this today. I
No,
mean,
no.
it's so I thought this was a cool piece of video to show. But
I
obviously,
mean, mind you, I've never seen anything like this before.
you never seen this video before.
No, no.
What? Well, now you're in NUFC Talk TV, man. We find everything. You know what I mean? We got VAR, man. What? Be careful what you say, because everything is we got everything recorded, mate. But McDonald right here. Where were you at, man? After the loss, did you just take off?
I've got no idea.
He was chasing the cup to get a drink.
But actually, I wanted to share, and everybody out there watching, the words of Malcolm McDonald, who was he the captain of the team at the moment?
No, Tommy
Mal,
Craig
never.
Mac, okay, but certainly the words that he had after this loss was of a captain. I mean, and I would like for us to listen to him.
The Wembley finals aren't really your heavy hunting ground, are they?
No, they're not. But I think there were 2 or 3 of us in the second half where our legs just weren't carrying us, and we weren't doing the rest of the lads justice. And by that, we were giving Manchester City a bit of a few spaces here and there. And but all in all, I thought that. To say the least, we did our supporters credit. We did ourselves credit.
There was a hell of a lot of guts about the side today.
Yeah. There was a lot of determination and guts, as you say, and we came here to win and missed out by 1 goal.
I thought the skipper looked as though he kept running and running and running. Tommy Craig.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah.
You were one of the last to go down with the flu, Tom, I think.
Oh,
on
yes.
Thursday.
I think it was more a heavy cold, Brian, than the flu, which is lucky for me.
Yeah, so Tommy Craig almost missed the game. But just in your short memory, man, of the time, why do you think we lost that one? I mean, listen, if we had won 5 more after, or we won at least 1 more title, we wouldn't even be thinking about this. But obviously, we haven't won shite in the last million years. So explain to us, man, because you were one of the culprits, Paul. You were right there, and we couldn't get the win, man.
We basically we just didn't have the we didn't have the team. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
We had the willpower. But there was always a lot of politics going on.
Like, what do you mean? Expand on that. What do you mean? What do you mean about that?
Well, you had your Tommy Craigs, your Jeff Nulty's, and your
Alan
on
Golan.
one side, then you had the sort of Geordie lads on the other, and just basically, I think we did well to get to the final.
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, playing the final is not. It can't be an easy task, now or then. But yeah, I mean, there's always that question. I mean, you're a Newcastle fan. There's always that question. Why throughout history we just cannot cross that line? And it's not in your time. It was before that, and is now. Last season, we can't beat the same team, Man United, in '99. Can't beat Arsenal. Can't beat United again, Man United last season. And it's just it's the same thing over and over. So why do you think Newcastle we just cannot get over the line, man? I mean, it's just different teams, different.
Interesting what you just said there, Paul. And I'm just maybe it's reading too deep in here. You just said there we did well to get to the final. Is that part of the problem that simply getting there was the achievement?
No. I mean, like I said before, it's very hard to get the best players to come to play in the Northeast.
Yeah.
But why? I mean, listen, I've never been to Newcastle, so it's simple. It's simple for me, simple and stupid, I guess you can say, or ignorant for me to say why or ask why.
Well-
But what I mean, there's no. You guys got regular food there, I would assume, regular houses. You know,
Why don't Glasgow Rangers win the European Cup? Why don't Rangers win the European Cup? Why don't they've got money, but the players don't want to go to live in Glasgow. They don't want to go to live in. They don't want to live in Scotland. They want to live in London, Liverpool, Manchester. Newcastle is. It may as well be in Scotland for a lot of players.
Mm.
It's very hard to get players to come to live. I mean, what was the name of the player? The little centre forward who got from Liverpool. He used to fly up to Newcastle. Rude Hullet.
Michael Owen.
Michael Owen. He used to fly up
yeah.
to Newcastle.
Oh,
He never
yeah,
lived in
Michael Owen.
Newcastle.
Yeah. What was the greatest?
It's a bit of a culture thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the players do well, they tend to leave.
Well, that's because, of course, in the past, Newcastle have, until Sir John Hall came, Newcastle have always been a selling club. Anybody who does any good, you know, they're quite happy to sell them and pocket the books.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we got a few questions here again. Foxy asks, didn't Paul go to the U.S. around time when Pele arrived to Cosmos? Did you play against any all-time legends? How was the buzz for the sport in the U.S. around that time with Pele arriving?
Yes, I played against Pele. When I first went over there in 1976, we beat them at Woodson High School. And I always remember Pele and I ended up wrestling on the ground. And the linesman had to pull apart. And then we played against them in New York.
Yeah. Would that be the only, you say, all-time legend that you played against?
Was he well past it then, or do you think, or was he could he still perform?
Well,
obviously not the level that he had.
I mean, the team they had then, they had Giorgio Canaglia,
right,
who was a tremendous player, even though he used to play for Swansea. Dennis Stewart was playing for them.
Garincha.
Oh wow, that's top.
Garincha, he was the Brazilian.
Yeah.
He was playing for them. So that's some pretty decent players.
Yeah, man. You didn't want to get Pele's shirt, man.
Listen,
you got a funny story.
There's 3 or 4 people in the Northeast bought Pele's shirt in auctions.
Oh man, come on, man!
I can tell you that now.
That is.
And he's got a very easy signature to forge.
That is.
Maybe I did spell it wrong once.
Double L.
Oh my goodness. All right. Paul asks, how was it being the first ever person to have sponsorship with Nike?
That was strange. Because at the time, the guy who was in charge, the general manager of the Diplomats was we had to wear white boots. John Carberry. So I had to get Nike to make a pair of white soccer shoes for us.
Yeah. But was it like did they pay you good? Or was it anything substantial?
Well, I'll tell you this. I had an agent at the time, and he negotiated the deal with Nike, and I was getting paid. I can't remember. I'd say $1,000 a month or whatever it was, and the money went to him, and then he took the tax off and paid it to me. And after about 6 months, he said to us, he says, Paul, he says, you know, this is a bit stupid. This, he says, you're paying tax on this. He says, I'll tell you what I'll do. He says, why don't I just send you some cocaine up instead?
Oh my God.
I says, you what? He says, well, he says, if it's $1,000, he says, I'll send you like $1,000 worth of cocaine up. So I says, sounds all right to me. So anyway, he said he'd sent it over to us, and he says you'll have to pick it up at the airport. Well, the guy who owned the Memphis Rogues, I was playing for the Memphis Rogues at the time. The guy who owned the Memphis Rogues was, I think his name was Fred Douglas, who was the head of FedEx. He says he'll have to pick it up at the FedEx depot at the airport. Well, my mate Bob Stetler was there at my house at the time. Oh, I says, Stets, I says, I don't feel that clever. I says, listen, me agent's sending us some soccer boots up. They're brand new ones from Nike. I says, will you go to the airport to pick them up for us? So Stets says, yeah, no problem. I'll go and pick them up for you. Because I was scared. And so anyway, Stets goes away, and 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours later, I'm thinking to myself, oh God, he's been arrested. Then all of a sudden there was a knock on the door and Stets was staggered in. He says, shit, man. He says, can you get me some boots like these? He was off his tree.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Wow. This was way back in when?
That would be 76, 78.
Statute of limitations is done.
No, that's a lot.
About 1980.
He just tells you, man.
I went back to the Diplomat 78, 2 seasons, 78, 79, 80. Then I went, so it was about 80, 81, 82.
Yeah. Well, back those times were wild, ladies and gentlemen. AG says, what were the wages when you played in Newcastle? If you want to say, you know.
He started
Probably wasn't
on 30 quid a week, he said.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think it was about $1,000 a week. I think that was the most I got in the States.
Oh, in the United States.
Yeah.
But at Newcastle, what was the most you got?
Oh, the most I got at Newcastle was about 100 quid.
I was going to say, but Matt famously went. He was on £200 a week, wasn't he? He was the first £200 a week footballer, I think.
What was that? Sorry,
Super Mac was the first £200 a week footballer. The last contract he signed.
But in those days, though, you got appearance money.
Yeah.
You got paid so much per point, how far up the league you were, etc.
Yeah.
But then they realised they made a mistake because they were giving you like a bonus for the goals that you scored. But then people started arguing about taking penalties. No, I'll take the penalty. No, you take the penalty. No, I want the money.
That's right. Wow, that's great. But in the United States, $1,000 a week. Right now, that's a great salary, man. So imagine at the time.
It might have been $1,000 a month.
Okay, so you
if I could go in there because I've got a pay slip from the Washington Diplomats.
Yeah. No, but I mean, yeah, if it was 1,000, but even 1,000 a month.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't $1,000. It might have been a monthly paycheck.
Yeah.
It could well have been a monthly paycheck. But
that's still a lot better than Newcastle, though.
Oh God, aye.
Yeah. All right.
In fact, I think some weeks I ended up owing them money.
Giving too many shirts away.
That Queen is asking there. What she's saying? What challenges and tackles more vicious than they are today? Back in your day.
Well, I mean, well, I always remember Jimmy Steele. He used to say, "If it moves, kick it. If it doesn't move, kick it till it moves." And that was his theory on stopping attackers.
Right.
Yeah.
That was Jimmy Steele, Southampton.
Southampton, yeah.
Yeah.
Lee Leyland says, was John Cowan from Blythe that you played with? I knew John Cowan called him Chippy. His party trick was
High copper through windows.
oh
Bloke
yeah,
was 6'7". John Cowan wasn't 6'7", was he?
yeah. No, that probably wouldn't be the
John
one.
Cowan, Seamus.
He wasn't 6'7".
No, John Cowan. Him and Jimmy Smith opened a sports shop.
Yeah,
Beside St James's Park.
It was a trophy shop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sports trophies.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. To finish up, I got some fiery questions for you, man. So you can answer as quickly as you can. Short and snappy answers. So choose between going to your kids or grandkids' university graduation, something important, or going to a Newcastle Champions League final, and the same day, same time.
Champions League final.
Man, you didn't even think about it twice, man.
No.
Oh man. All right. The next one. Complete the phrase. Newcastle will win the Premier League in what year?
Your dreams.
What?
Oh, nice one. Nice one.
Oh wow. That is amazing. Man, you're a Geordie, man. You don't think that we're gonna win the Premier League never?
I thought you said the Champions League.
No, the Premier League.
We could do that. We could do that.
But what year do you see us now? Do you think you'll see it?
No.
Oh man. No. Come on, man.
It's taken that long. And as I say, it is so hard to get the best players up into the northeast. No matter what you say.
We got one of the best strikers in the world, man. Isak.
I bet you don't hold on to him.
Bruno, one of the best midfielders.
It's
but now, not necessarily now because obviously we got FFP to deal with. But if that gets sorted, you can pay them whatever they want.
Yeah, but they've still got to live.
It's not about the money.
Well, no. At one point,
live in the northeast.
No, man, come on now. We know how the monkey dances with money, man. And if you give them enough money, trust me, there's no way they're going to turn it down. It's like Saudi Arabia. It's like Saudi Arabia money without going to.
Ruud Gullit was still living in Amsterdam.
Yeah. Well, you got a point. All right. Well, so I guess you don't see us winning. In my dreams, we'll win the Premier League.
I'm going for 2027, the 100-year anniversary.
Well, that would be lovely. Utopical. But all right. Well, I'm going to skip this one because
there's always hope. There's always hope.
There's got to be. Yeah. All right. So, who's your football idol growing up?
I've never really had a football. I used to love Giorgio Canalia.
Oh.
Used to love Giorgio Canalia and George Best.
Oh, George Best. Yeah. George Best. Would you rather? You're a forward, so this question might be: would you rather score or assist? Obviously, score, right?
Score.
Anytime, yeah. Who's the best teammate you ever played with at Newcastle?
Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith. Wow.
Jingy.
By the way, that's the Mighty Winds brother-in-law. You got that's for real though. That's not a lie. He never told us. He told us in private.
Jinky was the king of the nutmeg.
Oh, he just nutmeg folks, huh?
I
He
saw
was absolutely
Selhurst
brilliant.
Park one year. I don't know
Yeah.
whether you were there at the time, Paul. He took the ball down the left wing at Selhurst Park.
Hmm.
Nutmeg? No, he didn't nutmeg him. He shoved the ball down the touchline, ran inside the fullback, and got the ball on the other side. This was a ball that had been played out to him from a corner.
Yeah.
So he's there. He looks in the middle. There's still nobody in the middle.
Right.
So he's controlled the ball. The fullback's recovered, gone in front of him again. This time he pushes the ball around inside him, runs up the wing, gets the ball, beats him again. Still nobody arrived in the middle. The fullback's recovered again, so he nutmegs him, leaves the fullback on his horse, and even the Crystal Palace fans around that whole corner where he was by then were taking the piss out their own fullback. Jimmy, it went one way, went the other way, nutmegged him, put him on his horse, crossed the ball, boom, in the net. Fantastic. One of the best goals I've ever seen.
You felt like going,
Unfortunately, not on telly.
Ole.
Ole.
All right. Who was the funniest teammate you ever play with?
Mick Mahoney.
Super goalie, la 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 la. Mick Mahoney,
Well,
super goalie.
Mick was from down by the Wurzel area, right down south.
That's it.
And when he used to go home and he used to come back, he used to bring gallons and gallons of scrumpy.
Lovely jubbly. That's cider, Chris.
Yeah.
Homemade cider.
Aye.
All right. Well, answer this one then. Current St. James's Park or a new St. James's Park in a different location?
No, it's got to stay where it is.
All right.
St. James's Park is in the centre of Newcastle. It's probably the most central Premier League or any football league stadium. It's right in the middle of the town. Never. They've thought about moving it numerous times to Gosforth Park, all over the shop. It should stay exactly where it is.
Yeah. All right. So choose a player on the current squad that you would take in on the time you were playing in the 70s with all those challenges, that you guys have playing at the time, that would make it in those rough environments, going to different stadiums. The pitch wasn't the greatest. They maintained. They have people that work maintaining it. So who would you think that would make it and not be a whiner, a complainer?
Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon. He's your favorite, man. You've been saying his name.
He's 100%. He's gotten better at Newcastle.
Yeah.
And he was it the last England game that he played? I think he was man of the match.
Yeah, and he was player of the tournament in the summer, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
For England under 21s.
Yeah. More than likely I mean, now he's in the Euros.
Well, this way, there's not the match that was on tonight, Chris. There's nobody there who's put any cards down to stop Gordon going. There's none of them had a superb performance sufficient for to say.
What do you think about? Yeah, but let me ask you now. I mean, what do you think? You being a former player, was it a goal? Was it something that you had in mind to make it to the England squad at some point in time? Was it or was it? Is that different? Because fans today, obviously not footballers, fans. What I'm getting from English fans, man, that they could care less about the damn national team. When in America, in Peru, I represent both. It's everything. The national team, you would kill for the national team. And now I would. I mean, I thought maybe back in the day it was like that in England, but it doesn't seem to be anymore. fans don't really care about the national team over there right now. What do you feel?
I agree with you. I don't think there's no great sort of patriotism or anything like that. If there were a good team, if they were winning stuff, but I don't think international football is such a big thing anymore.
Oh, it is, man. It is.
Compared to
Yeah,
there's so
the
much
burning question: would you rather Newcastle win the Prem or England win the World Cup?
Newcastle to win the Premier League
Every time.
every time. It's
No ifs, buts, maybes.
there's too much football. I mean, there is too much football. It's crazy. I mean, I couldn't believe that at the end of the season, Newcastle went to play a fucking friendly in Australia.
It's for the money, man.
Moaning about being tired and injuries, then they go to Australia.
Yeah, but you gotta get money, man. We gotta pay Anthony Gordon.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. All I've got to do is just put a penny up on the cost of petrol.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you certainly got a point, man. But yeah, it's controversial to say the least. And then you lose 8-1. Definitely not a necessary match. Maybe the last one was an extra match that we shouldn't have played. But yeah, I mean, you know, I guess. But nowadays, man, people just keep adding games, and that's just going to be it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a player would rather play games than train.
Yeah.
But when I was playing, at the end of the season, you had 3 months off.
Yeah.
I always remember like, coming back for pre-season training, Malcolm MacDonald and Martin Burley, they were all they put about 3 stone on each.
Yeah.
Marlow's like fat as a pig, and we used to go up to Allenmouth and stuff like that. You know where all the sand dunes are and stuff like that. We used to run up and down the sand dunes and all that pre-season training, and we'd be passing them going back as they were still coming out.
Yeah.
They were knackered, but so you had time to get unfit in the off season.
Oh yeah. Nowadays, well, that's a good thing, I guess. All right. Well, what's the greatest moment as a fan that you've experienced? You know, as a Toon fan, and maybe correlates as a player. So maybe your debut. I don't
know. Probably when we won the Intercities Fairs Cup.
Oh yeah.
Fun,
when I was watching in the stands, and it was funny because then when I went to play in America, we signed a player called Joe Hovarth, and he'd been playing for Ushpets Dotza against Newcastle when we beat them. I think it was 4-2 in the Fairs Cup.
6-2 on aggregate.
All right. Yeah.
So I ended up being Joe Hovarth's captain, and he said he'd never been as frightened of crowds in his life as he had at the Leazes end.
Oh man.
He says, Paul, they were bad people, bad.
Yeah, I bet, man. I bet they were too, man.
But he said it with a Hungarian accent. That sounded like a blinking.
Yeah. All right. Well, Paul, did you have fun, mate?
I've thoroughly enjoyed it, gentlemen.
Hell yeah, man. You know we did. We got to get you back, man. You know we got to get.
Well, I'm coming over to the States.
Oh yeah. That's right.
On the 9th of July. So if you're about, where are you based?
I'm in Missouri, but it's only 4 hours. I go there all the time because my aunt lives there. So
whereabouts in Missouri, though?
It's called Dexter, Missouri. So it's about 2 hours from St. Louis.
All right.
Yeah, it's
in
the woods.
Sticks.
It's in the woods, man. We got nothing but cows and you know, chickens running around here, man. But,
And you've had some nice weather.
well, talking about that, we had a few. Well, I told you. I think I told you we had a tornado, man.
Tornadoes and
My God. But we're definitely
Tornado
gonna get you
Alley.
back, bro. We're definitely gonna get you back. You got a lot of stories. You're raw. That's what we got in this. That's what we know. That's what we have a late night talk show. You know what I mean? So no kids should be listening to this or watching. You know, we
Right,
got you, man.
gentlemen, thoroughly
But,
enjoyed it.
All right. Stay right there if you don't mind, and just stay right there. So the
Stay
folks
after
out
the
there,
credits.
folks out there, it's been a pleasure having, of course, Mr. Cannell here on the show. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, become a member if you can, and of course, help us out. And tomorrow we'll be live again with another show, more than likely just to cover news. On the Friday, we will have Alex Hurst from the True Faith podcast on the channel as well at 8 p.m. on Friday. So make sure you write it down, 8 p.m. And so I appreciate your support, everybody out there, all the mods. We will see you on the next one, folks. Ciao, ciao.